We made the decision to hang out in Belhaven, North Carolina the past couple of days. I've been editing videos, and Todd and Denali, well, they've been catching up on some much-deserved rest. We're changing our ways and doing things a little differently this year. We're going to slow down, we're going to put up the sails as much as possible, and we're going to see what it takes to sail the ICW.
One of the best parts about cruising life, not only besides being anchored out in a beautiful place, is we get to also have the great kind of sunset behind us right there going on. I get to witness that.
It's early, it's just after 6 a.m. We had a stormy night last night, but we're getting on our way, leaving Belhaven and headed to the Alligator River. The wind is supposed to be from behind us, but we're not sure how much help it will actually be. We're hoping to get all the way to the top of the Alligator River, which is why we're up so early, so that we can take a day tomorrow to just rest and do some work, and then go across the Albemarle on Sunday. Right now we've got like 6 knots on our nose here at anchor, so Todd is pulling up both the mizzen and the main before we get moving, since this is the easiest time to pull them and not have them get stuck in the lazy jack lines. So we're going to sail off anchor. Well, this mud is amazing and we're good and stuck, which is great if you don't want to drag, but not so great when you're trying to get loose. And we don't have much wave action this morning to help bob it up and down, loosening it up, so Todd's yanking on the chain to take care of that.
Give it some left rudder and give it a little bit of gas so we can see if we can break free.
All right, we got it loose. I had to drive forward on it. We were right over the top of it to get it to pop out. So now we're going to slowly make our way out of here. Todd's trying to get all that muck and mud off of the anchor. There's a big chunk of it. After we haul up the anchor, I start moving on our course while Todd tidies things up. That involves stowing the mantis bridle, the boat hook, and the hose and pump that he used to clean the chain. We do have a washdown pump that uses fresh water, but since we haven't unpickled our water maker yet, he's using a submersible pump that hangs over the side of the boat to use the river water instead.
Our wind angle beam.
70.
The wind speed.
3. Sailing on the rivers and canals of the ICW requires patience and a willingness to fiddle with your sails. A lot. As you wind around corners and go from wide open waterways to narrow protected canals, the wind is going to change direction and intensity. It's usually not going to do what the forecast predicted.
I'm going to let this out a little more. Like, I mean, I'm in this heading for a while to get out of here, but it...
I think we want that out. 120.
I only have 5 knots of wind. If I turn the motor off, it's not going to be enough.
We'll see what it does.
So we're only going 3.8.
Well, that means you got almost 8 knots of wind. you know, if we're not going to go the full distance, we have lots of time. If we are going to, we're more pressed, but we don't want to motor the whole way. So we'll speed ahead.
Right now, we're not going to get there till 10 p.m.
Well, we got to pull the to the first place. Second
place.
Yes. So we can also pull out the headset.
Well, we get out here and the wind is from behind us. So we need to get out of the inlet, and then we make a 90-degree turn, at which point we can decide if we need to pull out. But I think when we make the 90-degree turn...
I think when we make the 90-degree turn, it'll be about 120 from the port side.
So
we'll see.
We'll see. So right now we're motoring at almost 4 knots.
We had a great, 2.5 days with our friends, Matt and Carol, on Aftermath. Thanks, guys, for the great time and the dinners that we had and the company.
Yeah, that is the best part of cruising. You know, people think, oh, it's sailing, it's going to see this and going to see that. And
those are all cool,
busy. But the best part is the people and the time and just relaxing and not being in a hurry.
Right.
If you followed us very long, we hurried our first year out cruising. It was like we were always in a hurry.
We were slow, but we were in a hurry, being slow. Right?
There was a lot of stress. And just doing it this way where we're like, no, we're just going to take 2 days here at Belhaven and really do very little.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
It was wonderful. We needed that.
We did have a pretty nasty thunderstorm hit last night. 37.9 knots is what the wind was, which is around 44 mile per hour.
Yeah.
Off we go. Where are we going now? Alligator River?
Alligator River. So we're going up the Alligator Pungo River Canal that connects the Alligator and Pungo Rivers. And we're just going to have a slow, easy day.
So we're going to make it to the bottom end and look at our day. We have a lot of day left. We might try to go all the way through, but we'll see. Our goal is to we want to try to sail as much of this day as we can. So as soon as the wind picks up just a little bit more, we're going to shut down our motor and just try to sail it.
It's so beautiful and quiet out here. And yeah, it's a little slow. I don't know, we're doing 4 right now. It's not super slow. But it's just amazing. So quiet. Isn't it just like this is why we're doing it, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
It's just this is awesome, guys. If you've got a sailboat and you've been avoiding the ICW, you should try it. There's a lot of parts of this. I mean, North Carolina and the ICW and all the rivers and tributaries, it's a beautiful, beautiful area to sail. 65 feet clearance. I had to double check that. I like it only 2 wraps. That 3 is too many.
Might have to motor a little bit to power through this since we're not really doing a full tack or full jibe.
Right?
And we'll have to kind of watch and see what it does as you're making your turn.
It may not be enough.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking it might be dead downwind.
And so just keep it?
Well, we would have to pull it out. How long is this
This
canal?
is almost straight. It's 20 miles.
Okay, well, if it's 20 miles, we might end up having to pull it out. If it ends up being a consistent thing through the canal. But we won't know until we get in there. You're still invited there, but what's your speed?
2.8, 2.9.
You have to probably power up because we don't have any sails helping us right now because you're dead downwind, aren't you?
Yeah. And it's only 2.5 knots.
Yeah.
Because that's not going to work. You can't pull that out.
Well, I'll be able to pull it out in a minute, but we might want to roll it in just because until we know what's going on in there.
All right, go roll it up.
It's not filled out at all right now, right? So we're about to head into the Pungo River Alligator Canal.
Yeah.
Right now we're almost dead downwind with 2 knots of wind going into it. So who knows, as we get into it, we'll have to look and see
What the wind is doing.
What the wind is doing. If it's consistent, we'll probably have to pull out our head sail because dead downwind, it's all we can do.
Well,
and maybe a wing on wing or something.
Yeah, if there's even enough wind coming down the canal, it's pretty protected and really narrow.
Okay, so that's what it looks like right there. This Pungo River Alligator Canal is pretty cool. I mean, I really like it. It's peaceful and quiet, pretty. Got a few like houses backed up against it. Not very many, but a few spots where you can see that people have put in a little picnic area or, you know, beach area somewhere up against the water. But it's sure blocking all of our wind right now. I got 2 knots from dead behind. We have got up to 5 knots that we've seen. So, wouldn't this be a cool place for a house? I think it'd be a way cool place for a house. I can hear the tractor, but I don't know that we'll ever get to see him.
Isabella, the sailing vessel Sunburst approaching.
That would be love, and I would have.
We got ourselves an eagle. 2 of them actually. One on to the left of him up a little higher. That's a big boat like that one in Rockport.
Oh, that's gonna hurt when it comes over here. There's another one, Todd. Careful.
2 of them.
Holy smack. When they slow down, it's almost worse.
I know, right? They almost look like they're the same. I wonder if they're being delivered or something. Same brand. They look like they could be brand new boats.
This is what happens when these big boats pass us. Holy cats. Look at those waves over there.
Right?
Well, a little excitement to keep our day interesting.
That's right, yeah.
So how fast were those guys going on AIS when you looked? They were like, what,
This is sailing
20?
vessel Sunburst. I'm backing down so you can go
29
slow
knots.
pace.
29 knots when they were coming up from behind us on the AIS.
15 right now, after having passed that guy. We have confused wind.
Yeah, like no wind. But yeah, from behind these trees it might have a little bit. It's like there was a fire.
It's like bouncing. And there it goes again. Tack, no jibe. No, I mean tack. No, I mean jibe. Right there. There's a gator. Finally saw an alligator in the Alligator Canal.
A big one.
Yeah. I'm all by myself, he says.
As the sun gets lower, we decide to stop at Tuckahoe Point anchorage instead of pressing on to the other end of the Alligator River.
Yeah, there's another boat way back in there, and this guy's just off the canal, huh?
One of the biggest challenges on the ICW this time of year are the crab pots. Narrow marked channels seem to be clear, but wider channels will still have pots. And leaving a marked channel for an anchorage means someone has to stand at the bow and give directions to avoid hooking these with your prop. The colors vary, and depending on the light and sea conditions, they can be easy to miss.
Okay, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, but wait, so it's fine. Okay, but get more port. You see that orange one right in front of the boat? But this is a pretty big open area. If we can get, 100, 200 feet past this one here, it looks like there's no more.
3.7 knots, so it doesn't feel like it.
Well, slow down to whatever you need to. The wind doesn't feel like it's blowing at all, so you're just going to be able to position yourself wherever you want.
It's on 1.5.
Well, stop us. Stop us. Back up somewhat.
After we initially drop the anchor and set it, we let the boat settle for a bit. Here Todd is using that time to put our screens on the hatches, because another thing we need to worry about are bugs on the ICW.
All right, back down again. And make sure that the anchor's dug in. Not super fast yet. Now give it some gas.
On our electric motor, our RPM gauge reads 1300 when I'm backing down on the anchor. If you have a diesel, yours will probably be higher.
I think that's good, don't you? Then I put on the Mantis bridle. All right, you want to gently back her up. Once it's on and fed into the water, I usually have her back up the boat so that I make sure that the chain goes down between the two pieces of the bridle instead of to one side. And then I just have her back up enough to know that the bridle is taking the tension, and then I drop another, say 10 feet of chain or so down after the bridle, just to give it some weight on the back side. All right, it's good. That is how we anchor.